Hello all, just 2 quick points I'd like to address before we begin. First off, needless to say, I'm sorry it's taken so very long to get this episode finished. Sadly, we've been plagued by inconveniences and misfortunes and the like from start to finish in the form of disease, necessary recastings, re-recastings, computer troubles, gremlins and all sorts. As such, you'll notice a few of the key characters now voiced by different actors. Most saliently is Brian Ganeson, who is now voiced by Chandler Kim, and Morgan, who is now voiced by Michael Pope. The second point is that in this episode, I'm happy to present the fruits of one John Leonhart's labours, who took it upon himself to create quality remixes of a great many Wing Commander tracks. Once again, sorry this has taken so long, and thanks for coming back. Hopefully it won't happen again. Hopefully.
Wing Commander, Defiant Few. Episode 6. The Tide Laughs. Mercenary Strike Wing flying from the TCS Arthur Clouston on approach to Nephilim Destroyer 3 p.m.
There it is.
1 destroyer, 25 fighters. Terran intelligence was right for once. Imagine that.
Terran intelligence played its part in the Vukartag assault, the retaking of Vega Sector, the Templar bomb, just to name 3.
Again. We let him go, Jim.
If it's that easy to provoke you, human, the enemy will lure you to your death before the day is over. Also, you're overlooking the Empire's agent in the Behemoth Project, the False Armistice, your kind's 10-year refusal to acknowledge our cloaking technology.
Good grief. Just accept that both your species are defective and focus on the upcoming battle.
Yeah, what he said. Hey.
Morgan, Ekrik, I want that destroyer killed by our wing. Let none of these idiots snatch it out from under us.
Yes, sir.
Understood.
All ships, this is Captain Harper. I'll keep this simple. We take out the fighter escorts first, and anyone with torpedoes, blast that destroyer to hell. Watch each other's backs and keep your eyes open. When we get back, drinks are on whoever has the lowest kill score.
Worthless platitudes and minimal strategy. This does not bode well.
Shut it, Fuzzball, and do as you're told. Enemy is almost in firing range. All fighters, have at 'em.
Morgan, assume wide line formation 2. We'll take their fighters one at a time.
Wide line 2, roger.
Wing 8, move 10 kilometers ahead of my Vat Top and attract the attention of one of their Manta fighters. Then lead it back to me.
If you say so. But what do we do if more than one chases me?
We kill them.
Fine. Moving in.
You shall not delay us.
We'll do more than delay you, you asshole! That's right. Try and chase me. The hell?
A million more will take my place.
You are insane!
What are you whining about now?
You almost hit me with that dumbfire.
I only hit what I aim at. Now go back and flush out another one.
Fine.
Hey, pilot in the Black Saber. Look out, you've got a Mori bearing down on you, 8 o'clock high.
I can't see anything. Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure, you moron. Evade.
The Moray is down. You can stop screaming now.
Thanks, boss.
How the hell is he still alive? Ekrik, we've got 5 mantas moving to intercept us.
I see them. Looks like they're sending the bulk of their ships against any potential bombers.
That would leave a lot of our other fighters unmolested.
If they can take out any torpedo-carrying ships quickly enough, it won't matter. Anyway, enough chatter. Break formation and double back. Keep out of their weapons range as long as possible and let our fighters pick them off.
Understood. Breaking formation. Let's hope our wingmates aren't as feeble as the elder cat thinks.
I'm pretty sure we're doomed.
That's the spirit.
Looks like I don't have to flush any out. I read...
3 mantas heading for us! Engage, Terran. The battle begins in earnest.
Engaging now.
All ships, be advised. We have new contacts launching from the destroyer.
I thought it already launched its fighters.
Rule of thumb, George, you're always wrong.
Wingate, report! What new fighters are launching?
Stand by. It's... Pacton. Confirmed. 6 Kilrathi Pacton class bombers.
Why would these creatures be using Kilrathi ships?
It's a mystery for later. Looks like the 2 bombers are moving to the evacuation transports from Annapolis. The remaining 4 are heading for the Arthur Clouston.
Any available ships, disengage from your current targets and engage the bombers. We can't let them get through to our ship or the transports.
Negative. The fighter transport still has sufficient cap fighters to deal with this. Destroy the ones heading for the transports if you must, but don't let the others distract you.
I am in command of this wing, not you, Snappy Tom Tom. I have given my order. Now...
The wing leader has fallen. I am assuming command of this hunting pack.
Can he do that?
While ship's falling apart, I have to eject.
We need to pull back. We're about to be overwhelmed.
No one is running from this fight. Focus all attention on the destroyer's port side flank. Take out its turrets. Force its escorts to congeal around that section. They'll crowd each other and be easier targets for our missiles. Bombers, launch torpedoes as soon as possible.
Listen to him. We can't afford to become directionless now.
Understood.
Moving to the port side, sir.
Same here.
Yep, okay, moving in now.
Me too.
No, you pursue the 2 Pacton heading for the transports.
You want me to take on 2 bombers by myself in an arrow?
No one else is going to. Their escorts by all accounts are barely able to fly, let alone fight, and are no doubt piloted by apes even more pathetic than yourself. Either you save the lives of the helpless meat fleeing for the jump point, or they're doomed to burn.
I'll do my best.
You do that.
Why risk so much for the sake of helpless meat?
What the hell are you?
Theirs is the claw that tears flesh from bone. Theirs is the poisoned fang. We are all remain of their meat until all our failed race may finally perish and take its rightful place in the night dark.
You used to be Kilrathi. What the hell did they do to you?
They have come to finish what the Kilrathi failed to do. We shall die, they shall feast, and everything is silence. And you shall not hinder us.
Looks like I did more than hinder him, doesn't it?
He shall survive for the feast, You shall die here.
Survive? You did just see him die, right?
One more down. The destroyer got it. Looks like they're shooting straight through their own fighters.
It's just showmanship. That fighter was drifting. The pilot was already dead.
How do you know?
I was watching.
You're too slow.
You're too weak.
Damn it!
Torpedo lock established. Firing.
Torpedo away.
Yes! Hey, you still alive in that drifting crate of yours, faceache? If so, you won't be for long.
Integrity failing. All pilots fall back to...
Ha, and that's that.
Cry your triumph, warrior. Only my levies are truly slain now, and all your perils are ended forever, aren't they?
Both Pac-10 are down. The transports are safe.
How did you manage that?
I killed them.
Astonishing. Return to the main engagement. The enemy fighters are attempting to flee. I want nothing left alive.
On my way.
TCS Gallant Main Bridge, 3:25 p.m.
Ha ha ha! Now that was a pretty sight. Good news, Admiral. The new Detroit jump point is secure once again.
Status of our force.
Looks pretty much intact. I think 5 fighters on our side were lost. The rest are chasing down the fleeing insects. And why the hell am I doing your job, Satterley? You're supposed to be the one giving status updates.
You butted in before I could. Admiral, Perry Naval Base is firing at Skipper missiles now.
Good. Status on the reactor.
We estimate 5 minutes until it blows, ma'am.
I wish it would just blow and get it over with.
PNB is already dead, Captain. Keep your focus on the ships that aren't.
Yes, ma'am.
Lieutenant Satterley, what was the status on the first Skipper missile strike? After the mess with the Takashi, I don't think anyone reported on it after PMB was hit.
Checking. Computer reports 98% of all Skippers intercepted.
What about the other 2%?
We took out a transport and blew a hole in the side of a Hydra cruiser.
Was it a big hole?
Big enough that they've come about and are heading back to Ragnarok, sir.
Well, I guess that's better than nothing.
Message from the Wolfhound, Admiral. The Mount Tokachi has been destroyed.
About time. What took them so long?
I guess they were waiting till the fleet was clear.
We've been clear since before I gave the order.
Well, technically we've had ships inside the approved minimum safety radius that Confed combat regulations stipulate until
Hell with it. Ensign Weiss, any word on that shuttle that Tokachi launched?
Not since they brought it on board, ma'am.
Hopefully the next report we get won't involve screaming and snapping bones like the last one.
We can only hope. Poor bastards.
Admiral, we have a transmission incoming from one of the 2 Tiamat dreadnoughts.
Let me guess. They're calling to say, We will consume you for the millionth time.
I don't doubt it. Still, might as well hear what they have to say for themselves.
Open a channel, Weiss.
Weiss. Channel open, Admiral.
This is Admiral Goodin, Commanding Officer of Confed Forces in Gemini. What do you want?
You hardly need to introduce yourself, Admiral. We know you well enough as the helpful bungler who made our conquest of this sector so easy. And I trust you haven't forgotten me already.
That is not possible. He couldn't have got off the Takachi. He should be dead.
And yet, here I stand.
Satterley, confirm that the transmission is coming from the Tiamat and that the Takashi has been destroyed.
Yes, sir. One moment. Confirm, sir, on both counts.
And there's no chance a shuttle launched. Maybe a cloaked one.
Even if it had, sir, how could it have got to the Tiamat so quickly?
Okay, then. So why didn't you die with your stolen ship?
I, like the rest, are quite beyond your power to destroy. I am contacting you simply to remind you that whatever feeble tricks you attempt, nothing shall stop the harvest to come. It shall begin at your new Detroit, and then we shall spread out and purge this entire sector of life before moving on to the next, and the next, until all of your craven species is gone.
Yes, doom and bloodshed and the usual rhetoric. Do you actually have something important to say, or are you just blowing smoke out of your ass?
Weiss, grab a top hat and a fake mustache and take a shuttle to the Tiamat at once. Commodore Twerp over there needs a better villain's costume.
Enjoy your frivolity whilst you can.
Because soon we're going to eat you all. Is anyone actually listening to this moron?
No. Get him off the...
Ah. Now, unless I miss my guess, that signifies PNB exploding. Again, Admiral, my thanks for your assistance with destroying that particular target. Farewell.
Captain, Admiral, I'm detecting fighter launches from multiple enemy cap ships. Enemy cap ships are also starting to move away from the bug fleet.
As we expected. Estimate when and where they'll intercept us.
Admiral, they're heading straight for the jump point. The computer estimates that roughly 400 enemy fighters will reach the jump point approximately 30 minutes before we do.
The combined fleet has less than half that number of fighters on standby. Now what?
Multiple cap ship missile launches detected from the Nephilim fleet.
How many?
40 as yet. But they're still launching, ma'am.
What's their trajectory? Are they heading straight for us?
Negative. Looks like they're following the fighters towards the jump point.
Well, I can't imagine they're aiming for the jump point. What are they up to?
I've seen something like this before when Confed pulled out of Chengdu during the Kilrathi War. The Cats timed the cap missile strike to hit us 3 minutes before their bombers arrived. So our fighters were caught out of position when they did.
So, if you're right, the missiles will adjust course to intercept us at some point before we reach the jump point, forcing us to divert our fighters to intercept them. Then those 400 fighters swoop down on us.
Admiral, we read a total of 100 cap ship missiles now heading for the jump point.
Can we send fighters to intercept them now?
I don't think so, Captain. Judging from the trajectory, it would take 2 hours for our fighters to intercept them.
That far out, limited fuel, no chance of help if even more bugs intercept them.
We'll hold our forces here.
The good news is that we should have a lot of time to assign the fleet-specific targets to take out those missiles quickly.
Yeah, well, assuming the bug fighters don't get in the way too much.
Which they will. What we need to do is disrupt the bug's orderly schedule. And the best way I can see to do that is delay those 400 fighters.
Any ideas how to do that, Admiral?
Maybe. Lieutenant Satterley, send a drone through to New Detroit. I want to know the status on any reinforcements heading our way.
Aye, ma'am. Done.
Before we left P&B, I heard we had a ship come through. A fighter transport or something.
TCS Harper Eagle reported contact with a Confederation fighter transport identifying itself as the TCS Arthur Clouston, sir. It's apparently ferrying mercenaries drafted under Emergency Decree 394 and Confed pilots who'd been on leave.
How many?
They didn't say, ma'am, but the fighter complement on board that ship recently destroyed a Nephilim destroyer.
Well, score 1 for the good guys.
That's damn encouraging.
That will have to do. Captain Metcalfe.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll need to borrow your office for a moment.
Of course, Admiral. Just through there.
Do we get paid for this?
Well, why would we not?
Well, we haven't been hired. We have, in fact, technically been conscripted. We're fighting for the preservation of the Confederation, and maybe they expect us to do it for free.
Nah. When the dust settles, they'll compensate us. Humans tend to make spectacles of their gratitude, for which people like us means a payday.
We don't make spectacles of our gratitude.
What about that militia pilot you claim to have saved?
Okay.
The one you took back to...
Okay, fair enough.
Unless you were lying about that.
I was not lying.
If you say so.
Kritharg's landing.
Don't change the subject.
And the new guy. What's his name?
I don't know. Did he ever tell us?
Who knows? Who cares? Looks like he survived, though.
I should have taken Kritharg up on that bet.
Maybe he hid behind the Arthur Clouston the whole time.
Well, he's taken damage by the look of it. Maybe he's at least as good a pilot as he is a miner.
Yeah, maybe. Sir.
So, which of you got the kill shot?
That would be me.
Good. Now stop lounging on the floor, you lazy idiots. See to your fighters. They need and rest. The next battle will not be as easy. I've heard whispers of hundreds of enemy fighters making for the jump point.
Glad to see you're alive, too.
Yeah, word has it the guy in the arrow had to save your ass 3 times over.
We've told you time and again, Morgan. You'll never be funny.
That is true.
You'll never be obedient either, I suspect. I gave you an order. Now go.
Right.
Yes. Good night, Mother.
You there, Wing Ape. The same goes for you.
What?
Make sure your ship and yourself are ready for battle.
I don't need you to tell me how to.
I have listened to enough of your petulance. Either do as you're bidden so that you might be an effective part of this hunting pack, or continue as you are and I'll keep striking you.
Attention all pilots. Report to the briefing room at once. Repeat, all pilots, report to the briefing room at once.
There, you see? The tide of battle draws in quicker than expected. This is no time for whinging.
Are you alright?
Yes, I'm fine.
What was that about?
Don't know. Think the furry bastard's trying to mentor me.
Come on, looks like we've got more work to do.
Looks like we'll need you after all.
I told you.
Yes. We had to test the waters first. Are people normally glad to see the wolf's head appear?
I really don't care what people think when they see us.
Which is why you're not the captain. Anyway, have the ship ready to jump, but wait till you hear from me before you move.
Right.
Okay, people. First, I want to offer my congratulations to everyone involved in taking down the Nephilim destroyer. We've just received a communication from Admiral Goodin on board the fleet's flagship, the TCS Gallant, containing new orders for us. You really should see this for yourself.
TCS Arthur Clouston. This is Admiral Goodin, commander of all Confed military assets in Gemini. Our main fleet is currently making best speed for the new Detroit jump point. However, we are facing the threat of a simultaneous attack from an incoming cap ship missile strike and a 400-strong fighter swarm. If we are to have any chance of survival, and by extension be able to effectively defend the rest of the system, we need to face both threats individually. I am ordering the Arthur Clouston and any forces it can muster to mount a delaying action against the incoming enemy fighter wing.
That's suicide.
Do you think that even with the...
Quiet. Listen.
You don't need me to tell you that this is a suicide mission. There is no chance of anyone coming out of this battle alive. And with the sheer disparity between the enemy's forces and yours, it's also questionable as to whether such an action will delay the enemy at all. I also know that you could just as easily retreat back through the new Detroit jump point. Know this, however. If the main fleet is destroyed, all of Gemini, at the very least, will fall. Those of you with families here will lose them. The only chance anyone and anything you care for has to survive is if you make this sacrifice for them. All I can say is that, if we survive, we shall make your heroism count. Godspeed.
So, that's that. As the Admiral has...
That bitch couldn't hold the system and now she's sacrificing us so that she can run away? No! Fuck that. I'm leaving.
Hell with this.
So be it.
They have a point, Kritharg. Why die pointlessly here when we can pull back, bide our time, and strike again when the opportunity presents itself?
There is no running from Kritharg, and this human admiral is right. That fleet's survival is more important than our own.
What the
fuck are you doing?
Sit back down, all of you.
We didn't sign on for a suicide mission.
You didn't sign on at all. You were drafted. None of you are paid mercenaries or on loan from the militia or whatever you were before. You are pilots of the Terran Confederation. The Confederate policy for deserters is execution. I promise you, I will shoot anyone who walks out of that door.
We're dead anyway. Can't you see that?
Yes, we are. All that's left to decide is how we die. Do we go down with dignity, sacrificing our lives for a greater cause? Or do we run away, abandoning the fleet, Gemini sector, and heaven knows how much else to certain do? Say you do run away. Where would you go? Confed will be sent the details on your ship and appearance with orders to arrest or terminate you on sight, and the Nephilim will forever be at your backs. I am sorry. None of you deserve this, but war is never fair, and this, quite frankly, is the situation.
Fact is, dying well is the best we can do now.
Well, are you sure? I mean, we've got
Shut up, or I'll slice something else off of you.
We have some hours yet. Take some time. Contact who you need to. Eat something. We'll call you back when we have a specific plan of attack. Dismissed.
You have been listening to Wing Commander Defiant Few, a non-profit, fan-made audio production by Fourth Starveling Audio based off of Chris Roberts' Wing Commander franchise, starring Shannon Lee Simmons as Admiral Sandra Goodin, Hugh Carr as Captain Wilkinson, Captain Harper, Lieutenant Satterley and the Narrator, John Taylor as Captain John Metcalfe, Adam Butler as the Captain of the TCS Arthur Clouston, Vernon Vincent as Kritharg, Chandler Kim as Brian Ganeson, Samuel Topp as Ekrik, Michael Pope as Morgan, John Leonhart as Ensign Weiss, Paul Karle as Pryce, James Marlin as Crow, Lauren Edwards as Bast, and Richard Paul as George and the Nephilim Kilrathi pilots. Additional voices provided by John Leonhart, Kristen Ashton, Kyle Ferguson, Annie Kim G, and Shannon Lee Simmons. All sound effects in this episode are from Wing Commanders 3, 4, and 5, or else freesound.org. Music featured in this episode are tracks from Wing Commanders 1, 2, 3, Privateer, and Armada, remixed by John Leonhart. This episode was written, edited, and directed by Richard Paul. Wing Commander is a registered trademark of Origin Systems. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for listening.